Hi, I'm Jimmy Delgado from Delgado's Tutorials. Today we're going to go over NMAP. NMAP is a very popular port scanning tool built into Kali Linux. Port scanning is important when it comes to pen testing because it allows you to find out what ports are open on the host and what services are running on the host. Kali Linux also has scripts built into it to allow you to find vulnerabilities in those services that we can go over in another video. Won't be today. Today we're just going to go over the basics. So let's go ahead and get started looking at NMAP. Now we can do it when we look at NMAP. We're going to go into the help menu first by typing nmap-h with using Kali Linux. Right. Now, target specification. Kali Linux is a little bit different. It's very unique when it allows you to pick your host. You can scan up to a whole network by doing the network slash the CIDR 24.16.8, or if you have all the IP addresses in a text document, you can point directly at it and it will scan those IP addresses. You can also do that would be a -il. If you want to do just put in all those IP addresses with like IP address comma, that'd be a -sl, simple list. So if you can see that right here with the -sil, you put the file name, and then with the -sl, simply put the list. Or you can just point at a target specifically, one host, put in his IP address. Now, how does NMAP work? Well, when NMAP first begins, it sends out an ICMP packet to each host individually. What it's saying is, hey, are you there? Yes? Cool, let's find out what ports you have open. That's what the ICMP packet does. Now, sometimes you just want to do an ICMP ping out the whole network, find out what's there, what's available, just so you can, it's a lot quicker, a lot faster without a port scan. Because a port scan is a little slower, you got to talk to each host. So if you just want to do it quick, find out what's there, you're going to do the SN. That's just a ping scan. It just goes quickly, just tells you quickly what's there and available. Now, in a lot of cases, if you're scanning the domain controllers, servers, they don't respond unless you're inside of the domain to ICMP packets. They'll just ignore them, drop them. So what happens is if you do an NMAP scan against it, it's going to say the host is down and it will kick back your scan like nothing. So to prevent this from happening and just disabling the ICMP packet and just scanning the host, you do a -pn. Treat all hosts as if they were up. It's not going to do the host discovery part of sending out the ICMP packets. And we scroll down here, we have our scan techniques. We're going to go over those in a lot more in depth. Port scanning. Now, right off the bat, NMAP scans only the top 1,000 popular ports. You can specify the port that you want to scan by doing the -p. You can do a port range. However, another technique is doing the -p-, and that will scan all 65,000 ports on a host. You'd always want to do this so that way you know for sure what all the services that are running. Now, if we scroll down here, we can do the -sv. SV will tell us the versions of the services running on that specific port. It's very good to use, so that way you can look up that software, find exploits for it specifically that you know are going to work. Now, just further down, we have our scripts. We'll go over that later on in another video. But let's go ahead and get started and talking about our scan techniques. Now, before we go over our scan techniques, we need to understand what a TCP connection is. A TCP connection is established with a three-way handshake. A three-way handshake is when you have two computers, right? Computer 1 is going to send out a SYN packet to computer 2. Computer 2 is going to respond back with the SYN ACK packet back. Computer 1 is going to respond back with an ACK packet. And now the connection is established and they're going to start communicating. Wow, very technical. You probably don't understand what that means. Well, basically in Barney terms, it's computer 1 says to computer 2, hey man, What's up? How you been? Computer 2 says, not much, man. What's going on with you? Computer 1 responds back, man, life is good. At that point, they've already established life is good. They're communicating. They're talking. That's what's going on. So, this is called a three-way handshake. NMAP has a scan called a TCP Connect scan. And this is where NMAP establishes this three-way handshake with each individual port, and then it moves on. To look at this, we're going to give an example of it. F11 NMAP-S. It's going to be with the lowercase s and capital T, and that is our TCP Connect scan. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our IP address that we want to scan. So as you see right here, we see our version number of the NMAP starting. So this is what comes up. We have our port number that is open. We can see that it is a TCP connection. We see that the port is open. We see the service running. That's a domain service. So right off the bat, we can see this IP address and think it's a domain controller. It's running domain services. It has LDAP on it. You can go further into it. Now, so this right here is a TCP scan. Now the next scan we're going to go over is the SYN scan, aka stealth scan. SYN scan is similar to the ST scan, but it only does two of the first two of the three steps. So the SYN scan only sends, computer 1 will only send the SYN packet. Computer 2 will respond back with the SYN ACK packet back. Computer 1 will send an RST packet, which is a reset packet, back to computer 2. What a reset packet does, it says, oh, my bad, forget everything, disregard all the communications back in the past. Computer 2 is going to be like, alright, cool, and act like nothing happened. Back in the day, it used to be called the stealth scan. The reason was because it did not accomplish 100% connection, so it was considered not to be logged. Nowadays, modern firewalls and IDS systems will log this. But let's demonstrate this. So, NMAP -S is for the SYN scan and the IP address that we are going to scan. So we're going after 10.10.71. Now here, it accomplishes the same stuff. It sees everybody that responded. These are the ports that responded back with the SYN ACK packet. We did not send back the ACK packet to these ports. Instead, we sent back an RST back to these ports, telling it, forget about the past communication. Here we can see our port that is open. It is port 25. It is a TCP port. We can see that it's open. We see that it's SMTP. We see here that port 80 is open. This is a SYN scan. One thing to understand about the SYN scan is this is a default scan for NMAP. So if you do not clarify a different type of scan, this is the one NMAP is going to do right off the bat. Now before we can move further on and talk about the next scans, we need to understand RFCs. Our next RFCs are requests for comments. It's comments about port, different things that developers have made. I'm just saying about stuff. But in the RFCs, it states that if a port, a closed port, receives a packet that does not have the SYN or an ACK or the reset on it, the RST, that closed port is going to send back an reset packet to the host that sent it. So I'll say this again. A closed port is going, if it receives a packet that does not have the SYN, the ACK, or the resets on it, it is going to send a reset packet back to the host that sent it. Now, an open port is just going to ignore it. Maybe nothing happened. Nothing to see. So, The way we find out if a port is open, we're going to request for all these, we're going to send these flags and we're going to hope that somebody sends a reset. But to do this is we're going to use a Christmas scan. A Christmas scan sends all the bits to on. When it sends all the bits to on, there is no send, there's no act, there's no reset, and we're going to hope for a response. So now a Christmas scan is accomplished by doing NMAP -S X. Now a Christmas scan is very noisy because it has everything turned on. But we're gonna go 10.10.10.100 one more time. Just take a look at it. And it says it's all closed. So let's try another port. Oh, this one responded back with different things being open. Now, same response, ports open, when it is open, filtered. Now, a no scan is we're going to send everything to off. Nothing's on. We're just, bam, we're just saying it. So the way we accomplish the same thing, but instead of the SX, we're going to type in the SN, and let's go ahead and start with the 100. See if it's going to answer. It's probably down. Probably crouching that scan. Alright, let's try 102. Alright, so let's do it one more time. Clear. Alright, so right here we have the ports that are open. We have the service 22 HTTP. Now all we did is we sent the packets with everything turned off. Okay. Now the next scan is a fin scan. A fin scan is doing the same stuff. We're looking for the same responses based off of RFC saying that if it doesn't have the send, it doesn't have the act, it doesn't have the reset, send it a reset if it's a closed port. And if it's an open port, just ignore it. A fin scan is all we're doing is we're just saying it with fin, the fin packet turned on. And that is accomplished by doing the NMAP -SF 10.10.10.71. Try 82. Yeah. So what happens? All it is just trying different IPs, things like that. Same thing. We have all IP addresses right there. We have 100 black ice alert. Cool, clear. Now we already found out what ports are open. What's going on? 102, 10.10.10.102. We understand it's open. Now we want to find out what services are running on those. We know what service correction. We want to find out what version of those services are running. So to accomplish that, we're going to go ahead and do the -SV, and we're just going to run it against thing. We want to find out, the reason we want to find out what version is for allow us to look up for exploits for that version. Exploits are usually crafted for a software's version. Here we can find that we have VSFTPD by 3.0, and we have SSH, and then we have the Apache. So we know good and well that that's that version. This is the port. We've scanned it with different services. Now what we can always do if we want to is just do like a search exploit, Apache grep 2.4. And now here we're able to find exploits that pertain towards that machine. But now that's just a basic understanding of NMAP. So understand the ports, the scanning, how it is. If you want to understand more in depth, go ahead and leave stuff in the comments and I'll make another video. If you have any stuff that you do wish you want to learn about, go ahead and leave it in the comments and I'll make a video for that. But also please subscribe. And thank you for today. Hope you learned something. Have a good day.